There's a chance that Brian Koberger could be exonerated, and Dylan Mortensen and all of her sketchy friends are indeed the reason why. Sketchy because they have all been caught lying since the beginning, and the internet is not done talking about it until all the right people are behind bars. Ethan Chapin was a young man found brutally unalived in the King Road house in Moscow, Idaho. He was stabbed 17 times. Being unalived in that type of way is extremely personal, and multiple officers will address the public and say that this was a targeted attack. I do believe Captain Roger Lanier is the one that says, you're just going to have to trust us, as far as, well, why won't you tell us? But then they give absolutely no information as to why or how they even know that. Okay. In my opinion, I think it's very important that people hear what one of Ethan's best friends had to say about him during the memorial.
Hello. My name's Hunter Johnson. Me and Ethan became best friends over the last year and a half we spent at the U of I. And since we became such good friends, I feel honored and privileged to even be able to share who he was to everyone here. I met Ethan during Fall Rush of last year, and if you don't know what Rush looks like for fraternity guys, it's you're coming in as a freshman and you're walking to 10 different fraternity houses and talking to 100 different guys, trying to understand all of them and see if you fit in with them. And I remember he was the first person I talked to during Rush that year, and I knew immediately that he was someone that I wanted to be friends with and someone I wanted to join my house. My first impression of Ethan was some tall, goofy kid that, looked athletic, and he was, because we played a lot of basketball during that time. Unfortunately, the basketball wasn't enough to convince him to join my house, so he ended up going to Sigma Chi. But that didn't mean we weren't going to be friends forever. Me and Ethan shared a lot of memories together. Usually at a party where me and him would be controlling the aux and be singing at the top of our lungs any country music song with 50 other people in there not saying a word, just us singing as loud as we could.
Country road, take me home.
Some of my other favorite memories that I had with Ethan also included Xana, and those were the times we spent on the golf course. Me, Ethan, Xana, and Emily, we went a lot over the summer and before summer. And you knew it was going to be a good time when we went golfing, when we had more drinks in our bag than we did golf balls. And we usually had to send Xana and Emily to go throughout the forest to look for more golf balls for us, because we ended up losing so many. If you knew Ethan, he was never angry about anything. He would never get upset. You couldn't upset him ever. And one time we went to play 18 holes, and he wanted to bet money every hole, $2 every hole. If you won the hole, you got $2. If you tied, you didn't get it, it just turned to $4 the next hole. And I remember he won the first hole. He whooped me, actually, that first hole, and I remember him being so happy, and he was pretty confident going up to the next hole. Unfortunately for Ethan, I ended up winning the next 17 holes. If you also knew Ethan, you knew he wasn't great with money. And so it wasn't a great feeling when I had to come up to him and ask for the $34 he owed me after the rounds.
If any one of my so-called fucking friends ever got behind a podium for my memorial and talked about how I owe them anything, let alone 34, yeah, you are no fucking friend of mine. Let me just say that. That's my own opinion. my own opinion. Ethan was stabbed approximately 17 times. I can't find any other number but 17. Looking at the report itself, as far as like counting the stab wounds, and then looking and researching online, all I can find is 17 for Ethan. The police officers themselves will say that this was a targeted attack, but for some reason they won't tell us why. You just heard his supposedly best friend, right, give this speech, and in my opinion, why is he so infatuated with this one story? Did you see how detailed he was about the holes, about the rounds? Ethan won 1, he won 17. At approximately 1:17 in the morning from the Linda Lane camera, you can hear clear as day, in my opinion, the Country Road song being sung for about 9 seconds. You hear, "Country Road, take me home," and you can hear male voices sing it. And you hear absolutely nothing else besides like 9 seconds of that song being sung. This could mean absolutely nothing as far as the number 17 and the stab wounds, but I'm going based off the reports of the officers saying that this was a targeted attack, but they won't give us any information as to why or how they even know that. But we're supposed to believe that Brian Koberger, who didn't even know them, is the one that did it. Why was he stabbed 17 times? In my own opinion, Ethan and Xana were unalived because of Ruggs, probably jealousy as well. I think that, in my own opinion, again, that they were done with this lifestyle and they were moving on. And I think people were really, really jealous of that and really upset with that. I believe Kaylee was unalived because of Love and Ruggs. And I believe Maddie was unalived because of Ruggs. You can clear as day, in my opinion, hear from ring camera footage who called to tell on us. So there you go. Was there possible Ruggs involved? I don't believe anybody flushed down the toilet that much amount of anything. I believe it's possible maybe they knew of that much in the house or this and that, but I don't believe those young girls would have flushed it down the toilet and then went back to the house to sleep in the house. Maybe they just knew of that much in that amount and they were also done with that lifestyle. Just my own opinion. It was not a quiet night in Moscow. In fact, it was the exact fucking opposite. It was loud, it was active, and the internet is this fucking close to figuring out what kind of exculpatory evidence does Bethany Funk have that could prove Brian's innocence. The same Bethany Funk that can prove Brian's innocence is the same Bethany Funk that got it in writing that if she has to go back to the state of Idaho for any reason, she cannot be arrested. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a sketchy Papa Rogers by the toes. If they holler, we'll spare them death row.